Swandzz here, or Sarah, or Pint-Sized Palace, and I'm here today to make a video. So I'm going to review the Dollshe Mystic body, but I'm also going to be taking some measurements of it to compare to another 70 centimeter male body, which I believe is more standard in size, so that you guys can see the difference, and hopefully that will help you make an informed decision when it comes to choosing this body for one of your floating heads. So these dolls are roughly the same height. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Dollshe Mystic is 70 centimeters, and I think the Universe doll might be 70.5. My dog's squeaking her hot dog, but they're relatively the same. So the first thing we're going to measure is the waist, and sorry guys, we will compare that. So we'll do it in centimeters since that's a language we all understand. So his waist is 28 centimeters, right here around the, like right under the belly button. And then the Universe doll body is, it's in pieces because it's getting tattooed and body blushed, so ignore that. This one is 20, I guess that's right between 25 and 26, so maybe it's 25.5 centimeters. So a little smaller there. Then I think the big difference is going to be the, I guess your natural waist is up here, so that's where I'm gonna measure next, because for the Dollshe Mystic, it doesn't have much tapering at all, really, in my opinion. Kind of like a big rectangle. So yeah, his natural waist is the same as his like hip bone area. And then for the Universe doll, the natural waist is 22 centimeters. So a little bit smaller than its hip bone area. And then we're going to do around the chest, not including the arms, because this body does not have its arms on. So under the arms, over the chest, it is 32 even, 32 centimeters for the Dollshe Mystic. The arms, oh gosh, so big. With the arms, he is 42. So 10 centimeters more, including the arms. So then for the Universe doll body, without the arms over the chest, it is 31 centimeters. So just slightly smaller around the chest. However, I know for a fact with the arms, it is not gonna be 42 centimeters. I know that for a fact. So the feet of the Dollshe Mystic, from big toe to heel, is 11, it's like 10.5 centimeters. So almost 11 centimeter foot, which is absolutely gigantic. Then for the Universe doll, his foot is from big toe, 8.5, I guess probably close to 9 centimeters, which is pretty, I think, standard. It's about, yeah, about 8.5. I haven't had any problems getting the Universe doll foot into any shoes I've had that were supposed to be SD17. And I can compare this foot size to you, and you can see the difference. Oh my gosh. This is the difference in foot size between the Dollshe Mystic and the Universe doll body. And the reason why this is so crazy is they are the same height. And this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video, because though they are the same height, I would not consider them to be the same scale. I think the Universe doll body is a big guy. He is a big male body, but it's more in line with the average SD17 body. The average 70 centimeter body is gonna be around that scale. And all the other male bodies I've had that were 70 centimeters were in that scale. Unless, of course, if it's Doll Chateau, then they're their own thing entirely. But I've never had a doll as big as the Dollshe Mystic, and I was very shocked to see how large he was, because I believe that this doll is probably uncle scale, like uncle size. You know, sometimes you see that weird sizing where, like, on clothing or shoe sites for dolls, it'll say uncle. I'm pretty sure that that applies to a doll of this magnitude. So now that I'm done comparing them, I'm gonna go ahead and review the Dollshe Mystic Body for you. The first thing I want to start off by saying was I did have to restring his legs in order to make him stand. Out of the box, he would not cooperate. I don't think I have the footage from that anymore. I think I deleted it off my phone, but I did record it to show my friend. And his legs would kind of just bend and snap out of a, you know, a locked position, which they still do to some degree, even after being tightened, as you can see. But they could be tightened more. He's definitely not as tight as he could withstand being, so I do believe that is something that could be fixed if he was tightened a little more. And I've also heard from owners of this body that sueding the knees will fix that issue easily. So that is one thing to note. So he has been restrung, at least his legs, the elastic in his legs has been tightened since I got him, and he does stand now where he wouldn't stand for me before. So starting from the feet and moving up, gosh, he's so heavy. So starting from his gigantic feet, he does have a pretty, you know, average range of motion in the feet. It's actually pretty nice. He can point his toes pretty well, so that's nice. But like I said, pretty standard. Moving up to the knees, they are double jointed. Sorry, his legs are crazy. They're double jointed, and I would say that they work pretty well for double jointed knees. A lot of times they don't lock fully like that. Only like a few companies I've seen actually do that. I think Dollzone might be one of the only companies where their knees really just hug closely, but that is something that, like, I mean, it probably wouldn't bother someone, but if it did, some wiring or maybe even sueding right there would keep it hugged all the way. But for the most part, the double joint does work well, and I think that the issue is this lower joint when it comes, the lower part of the knee, when it comes to the knee coming unlocked. I think it's this little guy is the culprit. So I think that's where I would put sueding if that's something you're worried about. But otherwise, I do think the top part of the knee works very well and wouldn't be an issue, or shouldn't be an issue anyway. Then moving up to his hips, he sits easily, which is great. I've had some bad experiences with Dollshes that don't sit, but this one definitely sits. So that is good. He comes with a removable little cup here that's attached by a hook. This is attached via a hook, and then you can put on his wiener if you want. The reason why he comes with a little cup is because the wiener is so big that he doesn't fit in most pants. So good thinking ahead, Dollshe. Thanks for that. So we're gonna move up to his chest. Now, he does have a tendency to bend forward like that, which really doesn't bother me too much. And he goes back pretty easily too. He's not super snappy or pinchy, which is good because usually big male bodies can be really snappy and really pinchy. And as far as like gapping is concerned, with this posing, you're only getting a tiny bit, which is fine. I mean, because it's pretty dramatic. You can go less dramatic and not get any of that gapping if you want, but if he's wearing clothes, you won't see any of it anyway. Moving on to his arms. So I don't think he can hold his arms out by himself unless you twist the arm around like that. And even then it's not held like straight at attention. I think maybe he could probably use tighter elastic just all over. Maybe his arms could be tightened as well. Or maybe some sueding in here would help him keep his arm straight like that. But his elbow is pretty good, I think. Let's see if we can get his. So that's his elbow completely bent. I think if you were to put his hand up towards him, you can get the hand a little closer. So that would be the arm completely bent. Then just like one click of the peanut gives you that. One click of the lower peanut gives you that. So definitely not bad, but I could see how some sueding would help that. And then for his wrists, he does have a pretty nice range of mobility like that in the wrist. I like that a lot, actually. And I mean, the hands are gorgeously sculpted and detailed. So that might be some of my favorite sculpting on this doll. And then he does have, I thought he had it to where you can change his hand easily, but I guess not. He does come with paddles though, where you put the paddles on the wrist so that you can dress him easier because these fingers are so big, the hands are so big that it can be hard to get shirts and stuff on him. So I think that about covers it. Overall, I would say the sculpting of this doll is phenomenally gorgeous, and I think that he could probably use a tightening right out of the box. I have talked to some other people who had the same experience as me, but I've talked to some people who felt like he was strung well out of the box, so I guess it's really just batch by batch. But he might need a tightening, and it's not that hard to tighten him. I know with bigger dolls that can be a little intimidating, but it's really not that hard. And some sueding in the elbows and knees always goes a long way. Never shy away from that if your doll might need it. And I would say that this body is gorgeous, but it is very large, and it's probably similar to Ippelhaus EID size, if I'm not mistaken. At least I know the feet are comparable, so that might give you another idea of how truly big they are. But I also think that this body is probably comparable to the Timeless body, which is the body that the Veneto head comes on by default, which is what makes it such a good hybrid for Veneto heads. It just needs the neck pretty much elongated. But yeah, so that also can give you another idea of just the size of the body. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you have any questions that I didn't cover completely, I will answer those to the best of my ability if you leave them for me in the comment section below. And to the person who bought this body, I hope that this review was helpful, and I will be sending him to you soon, so I hope you enjoy him, and I love you guys very much. I'll catch you later. Bye! Okay, you can click all of my little buttons. You can click my subscribe circle or the video or playlist that is listed below. I will also leave a link down there to my Patreon and my gaming channel, and you can check out either of those if you feel ever so inclined. Bye!